Okay, welcome to part 3, where we are going to be talking about negotium, business. That's where we get the word negotiation from. All right, so here we are in the forum again, in foro. Okay, so forum becomes foro when we add in, so we're in the foro. Okay, we've got Caecilius there. Caecilius non est in villa. He's not in his townhouse. Caecilius in foro negotium agit. Agit is he does. Okay, he's doing it. Agare, age. That's telling somebody to go do it, go act. So Caecilius in foro is doing agit negotium. He's doing business. Caecilius est argentarius. If you remember, he's a banker. Argentarius pecuniam numerat. He counts money. Caecilius forum circumspectat. He looks around the forum. Ecce, there, ecce. Pictor in foro ambulat. Pictor is a painter, like a picture. He's walking, ambulat. Ambulance, that's where it comes from. It's something that helps you to get from one place to another. Ambulat. Pictor est cerer. That's his name. Cerer, caecilium salutat. Who's saying hi to who here? Remember nominative and accusative? Cerer is nominative. Caecilium is accusative. Caecilius, caecilium. So that means that celer is saluting Caecilius. Ecce, tonsor quaque est in foro. So look, there, ecce, there. Somebody else is also in the forum. Quaque est in foro. Who is in the forum? Tonsor. Okay, tonsor. Tonsor is a barber. Okay. Tonsor est Pantagatus. Okay, this is his name, Pantagatus. Okay, so we would pronounce th like th, but th or ph with the Romans would have been t or p, but with like an aspirated h, like tus. I don't know if I'm good at doing that or not, because again, I'm not a Latin teacher. I'm just doing this to help you guys out, since it seems to be helping you guys. But that is the correct way, according to the Martianus guy. I can't remember what his name is. Lucius. Okay, according to him, that's how you would aspirate the H. It would just be like a little puff of air after the T or the P. Caecilius tonsorem vidit. So Caecilius sees the barber, tonsorum. Tonsor, nominativus, tonsorem, accusativus. Salve, Caecilius tonsorem salutat. Caecilius is saying this to the tonsor. Salve, Pantagatus respondet. He responds. Ecce, look. Venalicius, this is a bad one, this is a slave trader. Forum intrat. Okay, he enters the forum. Forum is a neuter or a neutral verb, so nominative or accusative, it's both going to sound the same. Venalicius forum intrat. Venalicius est, this is a hard one. Supax. You wouldn't be wrong saying Cefax. That's how a lot of people would say it. But if you've read Lingua Latina, remember est Suria, non est Syria. Okay, Suria, Supax. That would be how it would be. It's almost like if you said E, but then you're making an O with your mouth. Supax. Okay, it's the Romans would have pronounced it a little bit differently, and I did look that up, so I should be correct on that. Supax. If I'm not correct, if you are a Latin teacher, feel free to correct me in the comments. Okay, no problem with that. Venalicius, and so that's his name, Supax. Venalicius mercatorem. Okay, so this is accusative, so Venalicius is doing something to the merchant. Expectat. He's waiting for him. Venalicius mercatorem expectat. Mercator non venit. He doesn't come. Supax est iratus. He's irate. He's angry. Supax mercatorem vituperat. He curses him. He yells about him. Okay. Supax mercatorem vituperat. Let me know if you guys, after I explain all this, if you want me to read the whole thing to you, because I can do that. Just do like a smooth reading. Okay, pictor. Now we're at the pictor, the painter. So Caecilius must have hired him. So pictor ad villam to the villa. He goes to the villa. So if you have ad before a noun, you turn it into accusative. Ad automatically makes it accusative. So it's not ad villa, it's ad villam venet. Okay? Pictor ad villam venet. Pictor est celer. Okay, that's the painter's name. Celer januam pulsat. Knocks on the door. He pulses. Your heart is pulsing at your veins. Pulsat. Clemens pictorem non audet. He doesn't hear him. Servus est in horto. There's a servant in the garden. Celer clamat. He yells. Canis, the dog, cererem audit et latrat. Roof, roof, roof. Okay, latrat. Roof, roof. So the dog hears celer and he barks. Quintus canem audit. Quintus hears the dog. Quintus ad januam. So he comes to the door. The janua becomes januam because it's ad januam. Venet. Quintus ad januam venet. Quintus to the door comes. Filius, the boy, januam aperit. He opens it. Okay. The boy, the son, door opens. Okay. Filius januam aperit. Celer quintum salutat et villam intrat. Metella est in culina. Quintus matrem vocat. So Quintus calls his mother. Metella atrium intrat. So she comes to the atrium, enters the atrium. Pictor metellam salutat. Metella pictorem. So now we have the accusative for pictor. Pictor, pictorem. Mella pictorem. So she's doing something to the painter. Ad triclinium ducit. To the triclinium leads. Ducit is lead. Like a duke is a leader. Okay, ducit, leads. Metella pictorem ad triclinium ducit. Celer in triclinio laborat. So celer is in the triclinium is working. Celer pictoram pingit. He paints. Pingit. Pingere, to paint. He paints a picture. Celer pictoram pictora. Pictoram pingit. Magnus Leo. Big lion. Magnus Leo est in pictura. Hercules. Quaque est in pictura. Leo Herculem. So Hercules. Herculem is now the accusative. So the lion is doing something to Hercules. Leo Herculem ferociter petit. Ferociter, ferociously petit, attacks. Hercules, magnum fustem, a big club, magnum fustem tenet. Okay, now notice, so Hercules is in the nominative. He's holding something, tenet, and that something is in the accusative, both the adjective and the noun itself. So they match, the cases match. So magnus fustis is the nominative. So instead of magnus fustis, it's magnum fustem, okay, because something is being done to it. In this case, it's being held by Hercules. Hercules, magnum fustem, tenet. So notice you have to wait until the noun finally comes before you know exactly what's happening. Et leonem, and the lion. Now, is the lion doing something or is something being done to it? It's in the accusative, so something's being done to it. So Hercules is doing something to the lion. Et leonem verberat. He beats him, he attacks him. Okay. So verberat can be physical or it can be verbal. Like, oh no, verberat is physical. Vituperat is verbal. Okay, vituperat is from your mouth. Verberat is from your fist. Okay. Hercules est fortis. So the verberat is really hard. He's very strong. Okay. Caecilius ad villam. So it's not villa anymore because we've got ad. So ad villam, revenit. Venit, remember, means comes. Re is it comes again. So he returns in this case. Remember the Romans didn't like new words. They just like taking multiple words and mashing them together. So instead of a new word for return, we just have re-comes. Okay? Revenit. Et triclinium intrat. And he enters the triclinium. Caecilius pictoram intente spectat. He looks at the picture intently. Et pictoram laudat. All right, and then we've got some painters. This one is, it's got an interesting face, but it is pretty well done. They were often very skilled. You've got a shepherd boy with pipes, a cupid catching a rabbit, and a portrait possibly of a poet who's going to cause problems in our next section. Okay, tonsor, remember what that is? Tonsor is a barber. In taberna laborat. A taberna, I kind of think of a tavern, but it's actually a shop. Okay, so a taberna is a shop. Tonsor in taberna laborat. So he's laboring in the shop. Tonsor est pantagatus. Caecilius interat. He comes in. Salve tonsor, inquit, says Caecilius. Salve, respondit pantagatus. Tonsor est occupatus. He's busy. Okay, that's an occupation is something that keeps us busy. Tonsor est occupatus. Senex in cella sedet. There's an old man sitting in the seat. In the seat sits. So old man in the seat, he sits. Senex in cella sedet. Pantagatus novaculam tenet. He holds a razor. Et barbam, beard, tondet. He trims it. Barbam, barbarian, a bearded person. Okay, the Romans shaved, so somebody with a beard was wild. Barbam tondet. He shaves it. He trims the beard. Senex, the old man, novaculum intente spectat. He looks at the razor intently. Okay, he's afraid of this razor. Senex novaculum intente spectat. Poeta, a poet, tabernam inthat, enters the shop. Poeta in taberna stat, he stands. The poet in the shop stands. Et versum recitat, and a verse recites. He recites a verse. Versus est scurrilis. We use that word today. Scurrilous means rude or depraved, or there's something wrong with it. So he recites a rude, probably a funny, but a rude poem. Versus est scurrilis. Caecilius ridet. Ha 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 ha. He laughs. Caecilius ridet. Sed tonsor non ridet. Tonsor est iratus. But the barber doesn't laugh. The barber is angry. Furcifer, clamat Pantagatus. Villain, villain, yells Pantagatus. I don't know what that would be in English. Senex est perterritus. The old man is terrified, okay, because he's got this razor and he's probably shaking it all over the place, yelling at the poet. Senex est perterritus. Tonsor barbam non tendet. The barber, the beard, does not trim. Tonsor barbam non tondet. Tonsor senem secat. Senem, senex is nominativus, nominative. Senem is accusative. So the barber, tonsor, is doing something to the senem. He's secat. Okay, what is secat? He cuts him. Okay, which is what the senex was perterritus about. Tonsor senem secat. Multus sanguis fluit. Okay, multus, multiple, a lot. A multitude of blood, sanguis, fluid. So a lot of blood flows. Caecilius surgit. He stands up. Et e taberna exit. He leaves the shop. He's not funny anymore. Okay, now he doesn't want to be cut. Caecilius stands and from the shop exits. So let's go on to Supax, the Venelicius. Caecilius ad portum ambulat. He walks to the harbor. Caecilius, so portus, nominative, portum, accusative. Why does portus become accusative? Because we have ad, because he's going to the port. Caecilius ad portum ambulat. He walks. Caecilius portum circum spectat. He looks around. Argentarius, the banker, who is Caecilius, nauem, that's a ship, suriam videt. So he sees a Syrian ship. Okay? Et ad nauem ambulat, and to the ship he walks. Supax prope, near nauem stat. Syphax, near the ship, stands. Supax prope nauem stat. Salve Supax, clamet Argentarius. Supax est Venelicius, slave trader. Supax Caecilium salutat. Caecilius servum quaeret. He requires, he wants a servant. Caecilius, a servant wants. Caecilius servum quaeret. Subhax ridet. Ecce. Subhax magnum servum habet. So Subhax laughs, ridet, because look, ecce. He has many servants. Subhax magnum servum. Many servants he has. A large number, magnum. Caecilius servum spectat. He looks at the servant. Argentarius non est contentus. The banker, Caecilius, is content. Non est contentus. He's not content. He's not happy with the servants that Subhax has. Argentarius servum non emit. Emit is to buy. The banker, a servant, does not buy. Okay? Argentarius servum non emit. But Subhax, the Venelicius, is smart. Okay, he's not going to let his sell go that easily. He's not going to lose it that easily. Vinum, clamet Subhax. Wine, yells Subhax. Ancilla, remember what an ancilla is? An ancillary, a helper, a maid servant or a female slave. Vinum ad caecilium portat. Portat, like port, is carry. A port is something that carries shipments, right? So portat is to carry. Ancilla vinum ad caecilium portat. So she carries wine to Caecilius. Argentarius vinum bibit. Okay, and now he's drinking the wine. The banker wine drinks. Caecilius ancillam spectat. He looks at the slave girl. Ancilla est pulchra. She's nice. She's pretty. Ancilla ridet. She laughs. Ancilla Caecilium delectat. She delights Caecilius. Venelicius quaque ridet. Why does he also laughing? Because he's going to get a sell. Okay. Melissa, that's her name. Canum optimam coquit. Melissa, food the best, cooks. She cooks the best food. Melissa canum optimum. Now notice it was optimum before, but it matches whatever the noun is. So in this case, cana and optima matches, or canam, optimam, coquit, inquit venelicius, says the slave trader. Melissa linguam latinam discit. She knows, she's learned Latin. Melissa est docta et pulchra. So she is educated like a doctor. Okay, I'm a doctor. I'm Dr. Harvey. Or Dr. Phillips, because I got married. Sorry. Melissa est docta et pulchra. She's educated and pretty. Melissa, satis, clamat Caecilius. Enough, satis, yells Caecilius. Caecilius Melissam emit. Caecilius buys Melissa. And we know he buys her because she's in the accusative. Otherwise, it'd be Melissa emit Caecilium. Okay, but Caecilius is the one buying. Et ad villam revenit. Remember what revenit means? When it means come. So revenit means returns. So he buys Melissa and to the villa returns. Melissa, because grumio is gross. Melissa grumionem delectat. She delights grumio, poor Melissa. Melissa quintum delectat. Kind of gross. Eu, oh no. Ancilla metellam non delectat. We could have seen that coming, right? She does not delight Metella. Metella's probably a little unhappy. All right, tools of the trade. A pair of scissors for the barber, for the tonsor. Okay. And then slave shackles with a padlock. All right, so we learned about nominative and accusative. You guys should have that down. Now, the words ending with an A are generally from the first declension, which is the first group of words. They're usually feminine. This is kind of a simple way to explain first declension, but it's always how we start. So you actually define which category the words are in by the genitive, but since you guys haven't learned the genitive case yet, we can't do that. So generally, if it ends in an A, it's first declension. Generally, if it ends in a US, us, caecilius, servus, amicus, it's second declension, which is usually masculine. Masculinus. And then there are some third declension where it gets a little more complicated. Mercatur, leo, senex. Okay, those are third declension. Okay. And those are usually So the nominative ending of the third declension may take various forms, but the accusative nearly always ends in M. Okay, guys, so I just read in one of your comments that there is a new edition of the Cambridge Latin course, and so I just got that, and I'll be using that from now on. But I see that Melissa is no longer delighting everybody. She's now a hairdresser, ornatrix. So let me read this again. Okay, so Ancilla portum circumspectat. She gets the port, she's looking around. Ancilla est Melissa. Melissa prope nauem stat. Hopefully, after reading the last version, you guys will understand this. So Melissa near the ship stands. Melissa est anxia, as you would expect a slave to be. She's anxious. Caecilius ad portum venet. Caecilius portum circumspectat. So he comes to the port and he looks around. Argentarius, oh, I see we changed his name too. Si pacem videt. Si pacem videt. Si pax, oh, that's the accusative. So we've got si pax, nominative, and si pacem, accusative. Si pax est venelicius. Salve Sipax, clamat Argentarius. Hi, Sipax, yells the banker. Sipax, caecilium salutat et ridet. Ha ha ha, I don't know why, but he is laughing. Caecilius ancilem quaerit. He wants a servant girl. Venelicius caecilium ad nauem ducit. You guys remember ducit from Metella before? Leads, a leader. He's leading. So the slave trader Caecilius to the ship leads. So he leads Caecilius to the ship. Caecilium ad nauem, to the ship, ducit. Vinum clamet Sipax. So he still gets Caecilius drunk, so he wants to buy. Melissa vinum ad Caecilium portat. Argentarius vinum bibit et Melissam spectat. So he drinks wine and looks at Melissa. Melissa est docta inquit venelicius. Melissa is educated, says the slave trader. Melissa linguam latinam discit. She is learning the Latin language. Melissa, language Latin, learns. Melissa canam optimum coquit. So she's still learning Latin. She still cooks really good. She's educated, but now we're not going to talk about her being pretty because we have to be politically correct. Sed Metella coquum habet, inquit Argentarius. But Metella, a cook she has. She has a cook already, says the banker. Metella ornatricem cupit. She wants a hairdresser. Ornatrix, ornatricem. Okay, nominative, accusative. Ornatrix, ornatricem. Melissa est ornatrix optima. She's a really good hairdresser. Inquit Sipax. Melissa crinem componit. She hair arranges. Crinem, hair, componit. Like components. She puts it together. Melissa stolam componit. She arranges dresses. Melissa, she dresses you well in stolas. Melissa satis clamet Caecilius. Caecilius Melissam emet. He buys Melissa. Et ad vilem revenet, returns to the villa. Caecilius Metellam vocat, he calls Metella. Metella ancillam intente spectat, et Caecilium laudat. Oh, now Metella's happy that Caecilius brought home a female slave. Melissa vilem circumspectat. Melissa est anxia. I don't know why she'd be anxious now because everybody likes her and is happy. All right, interesting. So I like the old version better. I don't know about you guys. All right, I'm just going to read these all in one go so that you guys can listen and see if you got it. I'm not going to go through all the extra stuff like I did before in the old version because this is a new version that's still being sold and I don't want to get a copyright issue. So if you want to read through all that other stuff and have the questions and exercises, get the book. In foro. Caecilius non est in villa. Caecilius in foro negotium agit. Caecilius est Argentarius. Argentarius pecuniam numerar. Caecilius forum circumspectat. Ecce artifex. Oh, now it's not a painter. Now it's an artifex, an artist. Artifex in foro ambulat. Artifex est clara. Clara caecilium salutat. Got female representation. Ecce, tonsor quaque est in foro. Tonsor est pantagatus. Caecilius tonsorem videt. Salve caecilius tonsorem salutat. Salve pantagatus respondet. Ecce, vena licius forum intrat, vena licius est sufax. Vena licius mercatorem expectat. Mercator non venet. Supax et iratus. Supax mercatorum vetuperat. Artifex, the artist. Artifex ad vilem ambulat. Artifex est clara. Clara januam pulsat. Clemens artificem non audit. Artificem, that's a new one. Oh, artist, of course. Artifex artificem. Yeah, that's the accusative for artifex. Servus est in horto. Clara clamet. Canis claram audit et latrat. Ruff, ruff. Quintus canem audit. Quintus ad januam venit. Filius januam aperit. Clara quintum salutat et vilam intrat. Matella est in culina. Quintus matrem vocat. Matellum atrium intrat. Artifex matellum salutat. Matella artificem ad triclinium ducit. Clara in triclinio laborat. Clara picturam pingit. Magnus Leo est in pictura, Hercules quaque est in pictura, Leo Herculem ferociter petit. Hercules magnum fustem tenet et leonem verberat, Hercules est fortis. Caecilius ad vilam revenet, et triclinium intrat, Caecilius filiam vocat, filia ad triclinium venet, Lucia picturam intente spectat, et artificem laudat. Yes, I heard that there is a Lucia now. Tonsor in taberna laborat, tonsor est pantagatus, Caecilius intrat. Salve tonsor, inquit Caecilius, salve respondet pantagatus. Tonsor est occupatus, senex in cella sedet. Pantagatus novaculum tenet, et barbam tondet. Senex novaculum intente spectat. Poeta tabernam intrat, poeta in taberna stat, et versum recitat. Versus est scurilis. Caecilius ridet, sed tonsor non ridet, tonsor est iratus. Furcifer, clamat Pantagatus. Senex est pateritus. Tonsor barbam non tondet. Tonsor senem secat. Multus sanguis fluit. Caecilius surget et e taberna exit. All right, and we already read this, so... Well, actually, I'll read it one more time, just so that we can go through it smoothly. Ornatrix. Ancilla portum circumspectat. Ancilla est Melissa. Melissa prope nauem stat. Melissa est anxia. Caecilius ad portum venet. Caecilius portum circumspectat. Argentarius si pacem videt. Supax est vena licius. Salve supax, clamat Argentarius. Supax Caecilium salutat et ridet. Caecilius ancillam quaerit. Vena licius Caecilium ad nauem ducit. Vinum clamat supax, Melissa vinum ad Caecilium portat, Argentarius vinum bibit, et Melissam spectat. Melissa est docta, inquit vena licius, Melissa linguam latinam discit, Melissa canem optimam coquit. Sed Metella coquum habat, inquit Argentarius, Metella ornatricem cupit. Melissa est ornatrix optima, inquit supax. Melissa crinem componit. Melissa stolam componit. Melissa satis clamat Caecilius. Caecilius Melissam emit, et ad vilam revenet. Caecilius Metellam vocat. Metella ancillam intente spectat, et Caecilium laudat. Melissa vilam circumspectat. Melissa est anxia. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave me some comments and let me know. If you keep commenting, I'll probably keep posting these. Bye.